So you made a lot of progress since yesterday, but I see you got the bark off and things like that. How do you get your log?
The logs are balloted, and what happens is the logs all get a number, and then your name gets drawn out of a hat, and you get to pick the numbers that you choose. The first one first, if it's still there. A lot of the time somebody else has already got it, so you've got to go down your list until you find one that isn't taken.
So there's not much point in having any sort of preconceived ideas of what you're going to make then?
Oh, sometimes you can have a preconceived ideas and be lucky and get the log that you want, but you've got to have a plan B and a plan C, and sometimes a plan D.
I just drew up a picture this morning after getting my piece of wood yesterday.
Okay, so can I have on the drawing?
Idea of a form. I've called it the Traveller, so I'll just see how it evolves really. It might change. We'll just see how the morning goes. It might be something different tomorrow.
Wow, did all that stuff come off this here?
Yep, I've been very busy making a pile of firewood.
You don't see too many ladies wielding a chainsaw. Where did you get your experience?
I learned to carve when I was about 4 from my dad. He's always done it as a hobby, and I learned to use chainsaw probably a couple of years ago now. My partner taught me because you don't really like to ask other male sculptors for tips because you're supposed to know it all. All that. So yeah, I had to get him to show me, but I started with an electric chainsaw maybe 5 years ago, just trial and error basically.
And what are you making here? I mean, what will it be when it's finished?
It's like a ghost dress. It's like a figure in a dress without the figure, and it'll have a big flowing skirt out the back made of a sort of assemblage with using that log there, so hopefully it'll work.
What I'm making here is a carving which symbolizes part of my journey. And, it's a scripture in 1 Samuel 30 verse 8. And it talks about 3 things. One is pursue, overtake, and recover all, which is symbolized by 3 major concepts of which are symbolized here, like the pursuing is in the fale. This is where the claws are, and I'll carve this out in this. So it's just a claw coming down with the paws and stuff, and the head kind of thing of the eagle is here. And then this is the whole wing flapping up. I might put in some steel piece later on. But so I want to leave some of the natural parts in there and have some parts cut out. So I want to mix the two. Hopefully it will work.
It's a 10-day competition and this is only day 2 and you've almost finished.
Oh, not quite. I've still got to put a base on it, but I don't have a lot of time.
Why is that?
Well, I've got to work for a living as well. This is a hobby.
Okay, so you won't be here like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday sort of
Monday,
thing?
Tuesday, Wednesday I'll do some work, and Thursday, Friday I'll be back to finish.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. And you've done a remarkable job in such a short time anyway.
Oh, it's a beautiful piece of wood.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So Tui, you decided to stick with the original plan?
So far it's going the way that I thought it would. Could change yet, again.
A lot of detail in that face. Are you going to do the same with the rest of the body?
Not a chance.
Why not?
Don't have enough time. Been there for a month.
Initially, the wood sculpture live event was held annually, over a 7-day period. But as it tended to clash with another art event, it was decided that it should be run biannually, and this is the 5th event of its kind.
This one's a racing lizard. It's also a love seat. So it just sort of happened this way, that the piece lent itself towards that. With the tail it was a bit truncated, so I stuck that bit on there to give it a bit of attitude. The poor little fella's only got 1.5 legs, so I think he's been in a bit of a scrap.
You a tagger in your spare time, man?
Yeah, that's right. I got nothing better to do than come down here and tag up a piece of wood just before I spend the next 4 or 5 days trying to carve it. Yeah, this is a piece of swamp coating. The wood's quite dense. What I'm trying to make here, the unfortunate thing is we don't get to choose the wood. The wood gets chosen for us. So this is what I had to work with. So I'm creating a tiko tiko, or torso. So if you can see here, the torso shape comes up through here. These are actually the legs, the stumpy legs. The torso comes up here, the arm sweeps up through here, and there's the face, sits in here. Haven't quite got there yet, but hopefully by the end of the week we've got something to work with.
Spectators were encouraged to visit as the symposium progressed, and most took advantage of checking out the gallery, where past pieces are on display. Terry Haynes, always at your service, got together with Tui to elevate her work for a better appreciation of how it would look as a finished piece.
Everything going to plan, Tui?
Yep, so far, yep. Just cautioning, really.
On day 4, to my inexperienced eyes, quite a few pieces looked almost finished, whilst others were obviously in the planning and marking out stages. Day 5 arrived, and Auckland, as only Auckland can do, turned on one of its less admirable days. A small tent village was soon erected, and the hardy, or those with lots of work to do, soldiered on as normal. Some contestants preferred to cover up and take a rest, while others took the opportunity to discuss and finalise the plans for their future project.
Did you set back for you?
The rain? No, I covered any weather.
The love seat's keeping dry today.
Well, I've got the Izzy up over the top. It's a little bit damp. Haven't been too worried about it because it's fairly wet wood. It was green, so a little bit of moisture on the outside will dry out when we get some more fine weather.
Doesn't make it really hard to work with it when it's wet like this?
Not really, unless you're trying to sand it. If you're sanding it, then it just clogs. The sawdust doesn't get away.
So the weather's not really affecting you all that much, Tommy?
Oh well, we have to accept the things we can't change, and I guess it's a bit of a challenge to add another dimension to this whole wood carving. So and curry, swamp curry is not new to being wet, so it's been having a bath for a long time, so today is not different in a way, but yeah, and I have a limited time to finish it, so I have to get on with it.
Is the wood wet at all?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it doesn't make much difference to the working. It's fine.
Day 6 dawned, a slightly better day. Tamui Kaloni and John Ferguson had rigged a bigger tent workshop. Peter Lagan had gone AWOL, so Yogi Bear lay down and contemplated hibernation.
I see you've got an even bigger tent today. You expecting more rain?
Which one? Yeah, it's my friend here came with it yesterday, which is good because we can stand up the thing inside, whereas the marquee before didn't allow us to do that. And it's fine weather today.
So what's this, a bit of a scorched earth policy?
Yeah, just eats up a bit of the dry wood, and I also want it to have that burnt look as well. I think that for me the blackness in this particular piece, I want that burnt look, because to me my whole piece is about a storm, and I need a bit of blackness in it, and to give it a bit of contrasting colour, because the wood is going to come up a lovely goldy sort of browny red. It'll have some lovely colours in it, and just against the black background I think will be a nice contrast.
So that heap of firewood is finally getting transformed, is it?
It is my friend, yep. It's finally taken away as much as I can, and I'm happy now with the form I've got, and yeah, it's finally starting to look like a bit of art instead of firewood.
It's taking shape now, Terry. What's it going to be in the end?
It is what it is going to be its title, because it just is what it is, and that's what it'll be.
Looks a bit like a love seat to me.
It has portions of it that you could sit and cuddle, and but it is just about, yeah, it is a seat. Various different seats all on the one piece.
You almost had to have a day off yesterday. Has it set you back at all?
I think I'm now not as far ahead as what I'd like to be, but I intend to catch up by coming in early tomorrow.
What are you going to call this?
Holy Shrine.
And are they all going to be sort of joined together, or?
No, they're going to stand separately but close together with little gaps, small spaces in between. So hopefully it'll create a kind of a shift as you walk past it.
This your piece, Andre?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's my
What are you
piece.
calling it?
I'm not really sure yet. It's just a seat. I'm not really sure yet. Have to think about it. But yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Is it more than one piece?
It's two separate pieces. One's a seat and the other one's a big leaf.
So there's a piece underneath the tarpaulin there which is going where?
That's going to be standing up by itself. Yep. Bottom.
So, Andre, you didn't tell me there was a fish going on that on the piece too.
Oh, you know, this is just going by itself again. Just individual pieces. Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
And what's this one going to be called?
I'm not really sure. I still haven't thought of names actually. I've got to start thinking about that. But it's just Pahudikawa fishy, and just got a little bit more work to it, and then hopefully it'll be done.
Starting to look a bit like a jigsaw puzzle to me, Anna.
A little bit. It's like putting one together. It's been a difficult mental task actually. But no, it's coming together. I'm just going to have to look at some structural elements soon, I think, when I stand it up. Be interesting.
Are you going to fit it all together? Is it all one piece?
That's the idea. Yes. Yeah.
What's it going to be when it's finished then?
It's going to be I don't know, kind of a curvy, semi-abstract, semi-figurative, postmodernist deconstruction. I don't know.
Well, you've made a lot of progress. What are you going to call this one?
So far I'm thinking along the line of Norfolk Nymphs, but you know, the story behind it keeps growing further along I get, so the name may change.
Hey, you've chopped off all that lovely green paint. What's the story?
Oh yeah. Well, the green paint was only just marking the spaces we are going to cut eventually. But as you can see, it's changed quite a bit since the last time that you came here and had a look. Doesn't look like a tree stump anymore. Looks a little bit like something else. I'm not quite sure at the moment, to be honest. I think it looks like a human figure.
I thought the green paint was part of the art.
No. Although I could add it. I could add it at a later stage.
This one looks like it's almost finished to me, Peter. What's the story?
I'd say I was about halfway.
Really?
Yep.
What sort of material is it?
This is Norfolk pine.
So, you know, what's the next step?
Well, I just want to lose a lot more mass. I want to get something really, really fine, and then I'm going to try a new idea I've got. And yeah, hope to get a good result. It looks pretty good so far. Looks all right.
How's it going, Andrew? Are you anywhere near finished?
No, nowhere near. I've been working right up to the last hour.
Were you?
Yeah.
It's looking good though. Looks.
Got a plan. Just working through it, you know, just doing it.
You got a name for this piece, Paul?
Yeah, it's called Where There's Smoke.
What's the connection?
Well, it's sort of one of those evolving things, but I've carved a whole pile of flames here, and the top bit looks like the smoke coming out of the flames, so it's sort of where the title came from.
And this is your other piece. What's this one called?
Actually haven't resolved a name for it yet, but it's supposed to be an albatross wing, and it'll be in flight, and it will be mounted so it does fly.
Now you had a forced day off yesterday. Has that set you back at all?
No, it gave me a chance to figure it out and what I was going to do. So it was a good day.
I see you're getting on really quite well with this face. Is it anybody you know?
No. It's just having fun with a block of wood.
Now you're sitting there all smug.
Oh, not smug.
Is that because you're finished already? It's only 8 days.
I'm not smug, but yeah, I have finished. But I worked on finishing early anyway because I've got the truck and I need to move everybody else's pieces around tomorrow and Saturday, so that's part of the reason why I finished early.
Last time I was here you said that you wanted some contrast between the black stuff and
I did.
That lovely light wood, and now you're painting the lovely light wood.
I'm not actually painting, I'm just putting an oil on it, but it's made it go very dark, but I don't really mind. I'll polish it up and hopefully a bit of polish on it will bring out some highlights, we hope.
Still trying to master the tools and stuff, but all good.
Been an awful lot of progress.
Yeah, it's coming down to the details and should be alright.
Looks like finishing touches, is that right?
It is finishing touches. It's not the colour I expected, but we'll pretend it is. Hello there.
Is Norfolk pine the name of your piece, or is that just the material?
Just the material, yeah, just the wood.
What are you going to call it then?
It's going to be a Japanese word for to stand strong. Yeah. Part of a Zen series I'm doing with pillars that I've also done in stone.
What do you reckon, Terry? Has he got a chance?
A chance of what? Oh, I think you can redeem it.
So Annie, you managed to get your piece erected without any problems?
Okay, yeah. Just putting the stairs on, so that'll be pretty much it.
It's looking good, isn't it?
Thank you.
It is, it's looking very different.
Yeah.
I like it.
Especially with the swimming.
A piece of existential art you were doing, it's coming on, is it?
Yeah, it's getting there. Kind of making it up as I go along, but that's just normal.
I didn't come here yesterday, there's been so much progress made, eh?
Yeah, I bet you saw a difference, eh? It's really, everything's starting to come together now.
Making lots of progress, are you pleased with it?
Oh, slowly but surely.
Looking good though, isn't it?
I'm happy.
Peter, are you doing the dentist job there? Removing a bit of bare plaque?
I am a dentist, bro. I am a dentist. I'm a carver. Call a Māori dentist, eh? No, you're right.
You've done a lot since I was here last. When did you put that face on?
This morning.
It's really nice.
Actually, last night and this morning.
How long did it take you to carve that?
Probably 4 or 5 hours. Quite a bit of time.
Super, man.
Yeah.
Timothy, it's day 8. Are you nearly finished?
Yep, I've just got to a little bit of sanding and a little bit of colour on the inside of the circles, and that's it.
What are you going to call this piece?
This is a kind of an organic version of a pattern called takarangi, which literally means sky falling through. It's a pattern that occurs on the taurapa of the waka taua, walking it. So this is
an organic version, softened off edges of that same pattern. So the piece is called takarangi, which means sky falling through, so the sky's falling through the holes in the...
So are you part Maori?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I was trained as a Māori carver, so I do all sorts of carving. Māori carving, which is kaido, and European carving, architectural ornament, furniture ornament, art.
There's always more than what you think, you know. What you think you'll achieve in a day, probably achieve half of that. You know?
Is that right?
So be it.
Yeah.
But you know, a little bit, just keep going, keep going, keep going. My only advice, my motto.
Have you got a name for this piece yet?
It's going to be like a capsule, and I'm just going to carve Norfolk pine onto the panel, so it's like encapsulating the Norfolk pine.
So now you're a hairdresser, Richie, are you?
I'm ready.
Is it coming on?
Yeah.
It's going to be finished by Saturday?
Yeah. Confident.
Finishing touches, Paul?
Long way from it, unfortunately.
Long way? What you got to do then?
This is 36 grit. I've got to get down to about 240.
Okay.
So probably 5 complete sands of the whole thing. And the last 2 are going to be by hand, not by machine.
But you are at the finishing stage, aren't you? You're not doing any more carving, are you?
No, it's all roughed out now. So yeah.
And this is so much more like a human form than when I last came.
Yep.
You've made a lot of progress, haven't you?
Yeah, she's lost a bit of weight. She's been on a radical diet. But I've managed to hopefully pick up the right lines and form. Of course, I saw this from the beginning. No one else could. So it's taken a little bit of time to get it out. Yeah.
Okay. I see you've been either painting, staining or something, Tui. What's the colour you've used?
I've just used redwood CD50 oil, which sort of brings out the grain. It's a bit brighter than I expected, but it'll probably dull off a little bit.
Peter, you told me this. You wanted to lose a bit of mass. You've certainly done that. What have you been feeding it?
Antimatter.
Are you going to stain this one?
I'm actually going for the black hole concept. You know, matte, the very, very subtle, disappearing, ambiguous, elusive quality.
Lovely. And I don't know whether I asked you before, but have you got a name for this piece yet?
Well, it's part of the Hyperspatial series, so I guess it's Hyperspatial 6. It's about subatomic physics and what goes on in the strange worlds of inside particle accelerators and such things.
Christian, there's only 2 days to go, and I've seen you making the sparks fly, but this one looks a bit unfinished to me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry actually. It's going to be a slightly more expressive piece than what I first anticipated. So I'm going to have to work quickly. And yeah, no time for too many little fine details.
Mangopari, hammerhead shark pattern.
So you're using a bit of a template there, are you?
Yeah, yep. A template and with a router. Yeah. A router with a ball bearing bit. It's a pattern router. So yeah, it sort of gives a nice, lovely, sharp finish.
Day 9 arrived, and there was some feverish activity. The pressure was on. Only 1 day to finish the work. And John Greenwood returned from his day job and set about adding some copper sheeting to his work. Pamela was putting some finishing touches, a clean shave, to the masculine head. Peter had decided to make Yogi Bear a mother, and was engrossed in producing a baby bear. Meanwhile, Steve was contemplating his colour scheme. Jamie was liberally applying coats of organ oil to his piece.
Oh, organ oil. Really enjoy that stuff, and so I think it's as good as any other sort of outside oil. It's got a mould retardant in it.
In his inimitable fashion, Terry was languishing on his masterpiece.
Terry, aren't you a bit annoyed people sitting all over your work?
We're drying it out for him. That's what we're doing. We're helping.
That's what it's designed for.
Late Saturday afternoon, the 10th and final day, and in inclement weather once again, some of the pieces were being moved to their final positions.
It's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. A kind of magic. One dream, one soul, one prize, one goal, one golden glance of what should be. It's a kind of magic. One shaft of light that shows the way. No mortal man can win this day. It's a kind of magic. The bell that rings inside your mind, it's challenging the doors of time. It's a kind of magic. The waiting scene, eternity, the day will dawn of sanity. Is this kind of magic? It's a kind of magic. There can be only one. This rage that lasts 1,000 years will soon be gone. This flame that burns inside of me, I'm here in secret harmony. It's a kind of magic. The bell that rings inside your mind is challenging the doors of time. It's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. This rage that lasts 1,000 years will soon be gone. They say a kind of magic. There can be only one. This rage that lasts 1,000 years will soon be gone. Magic. It's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. 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 Aha! Yeah, yeah!
At the final open day, Yogi Bear attracted a lot of interest. Teenagers found it compulsively tactile. Donald Booglass's self-described, whimsical, existential piece was very popular with the children, and so was Terry Haynes' It Is What It Is seed.
Right at the top and it's fixed. And the ballerina. Oh look!
One or two of the sculptors were still at work on their creations, almost at the time the judges arrived.
Well, I can't believe we did it. As long as it doesn't blow over and the interim will be right.
The judges, Chris Charteris on the left and John Ione on the right, set about what was obviously going to be an extremely difficult task.
Councillors and Community Board members, Arnold Wilson, event sponsors, our Judge Chris Charteris, and participating carvers and families, distinguished guests, lake house members and friends. We're very pleased to see you all here despite the weather. This is a culmination of a most successful 10-day National Wood Sculpture Live event, in which 26 artists from around New Zealand have created sculptural works of art from tree trunks donated by Tree Care Services and North Shore City Council.
I'd just like to thank all the artists who have taken part this year. Without you, we just wouldn't have such a great event. Such wonderful camaraderie, and it's just a special event.
Judgment Day is upon us, and it's an honour to be here, to be asked to do this. I'd like to say it was a pleasure, but it hasn't been a pleasure. It's been quite stressful, and I wouldn't wish this job on my worst enemy, really. it's almost as tough as one of the last things I had to judge, which was our local children's pet rock day. And so generally the quality and variety of work is astounding. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to judge, art, and yeah, it's fantastic work.
Alright, the main prize is $1,500 from the Beecroft Foundation, a new Still chainsaw from Still, and also a safety gear pack for that person as well. And the winner goes to Steve Malloy, who did number 33, Stand Strong.
This is great. Here you have awesome. Shake their hands.
Very much.
Okay, so the first merit award is also a prize from the Beecroft Foundation for $750 and a safety, Still safety gear, and also a gardening aids voucher for $300. And this merit award goes to Donald Douglas, number 9, Newtopia.
It's wonderful. That's Dr. Beecroft.
Thank you.
And you get this. And then you get this, and I get to say to it. Did you ever think it would happen?
Is $750 from North Shore City Council, as well as a Still safety gear pack, as well as a gardening aids voucher. And what this will be presented by our mayor, and it goes to Anthony Wilson, number 11 with Muriwa.
I'd just like to thank all the organisers, and especially the ringawera, or the people who made all the food and make this event a great event to attend. Thank you very much. I'll be back next time.
Steve, when I spoke to you before, you said it would be a stand strong piece. That's strong enough to win. You must be very happy.
Very happy, yep. It's Norfolk pine. There's different layers of paint. It's red underneath this paint. I've had that sanding back has brought the red out. It was all one log. Yeah, I was very lucky to get the one log to be able to create 5 pieces in this geometry. And very pleased with it. Very strong.